Kaleidoscope is an all-new Netflix series that you can watch in any order. Let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services like Netflix. If you guys are like me, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more up-and-coming content. Spanning 25 years, Kaleidoscope is an all-new anthology series following a crew of masterful thieves and their attempt to crack a seemingly unbreakable vault for the biggest payday in history. So the big draw about Kaleidoscope is that it is a series that you can watch in any order. You could start with any episode and you could get a different experience with this series. There is a total of 8 episodes. The last episode, titled White, is intended to be the finale of the series. I didn't get too crazy with it. I started at the beginning and just watched 1 through 8. You could start in the middle of the series and take a non-linear approach to storytelling, building intrigue and suspense uniquely with different members, each having different immersive viewing experiences. Some episodes are 25 years in the past, some episodes are 6 weeks before this heist, some episodes are after the heist. I like the story and the cast in here is great. We have Jai Courtney in here, Giancarlo Esposito in here as well. This is loosely inspired by the real-life story where $70 billion in bonds went missing in downtown Manhattan during Hurricane Sandy. But we see the setup of the heist, the motives behind it all, planning everything, the aftermath of it as well. And I found Kaleidoscope for the most part to be a really entertaining series. I love the heist aspect to it, the planning going into it, the motives behind it all, secrets of the characters involved in the series. It has your typical heist cliche moments and a lot of suspense within it. Now, I understand what Netflix is trying to do. They're trying to take this gamble and have a fun, different experience to separate itself from other series. The problem with it is that if you started in the middle of the series, certain moments could be confusing. And certain characters are describing something that happened to them in the past, and you may have not seen that yet. And I might have seen that. Everybody's got a different experience. With how I started it, when I got to the middle half of the series, I was trying to be in the mindset of someone who started here. Maybe someone started on episode 5. And certain moments with what happened to characters, you don't know yet. And they're talking about it. And things are happening, and that might be confusing to you.
I am so confused right now.
And if you don't know how this series is intended to watch, there could be many times that you feel like you've missed an episode or you're just confused with what is happening because of the different experiences each viewer does get. You might be confused with one scene that they haven't described yet, but it might be at the beginning of the series. If you watched it in that linear way, you would get everything in the correct order. But I thought several times that if someone started episode 5 or episode 6, there could be moments where they're confused with what is happening to these characters and certain outcomes for them. And I've already seen that, and they might be in this mindset of, am I missing something because they've talking about it? There's no scenes that correlate to it within that episode. So I understand what Netflix is trying to do. I do think that it will lead to a lot of people being confused with what is happening or feel like they are missing certain episodes, or just your average Netflix viewer that will go into it, start with that first episode, and it just bounces back and forth like crazy from 24 years prior to 6 weeks after, back and forth. And that non-linear approach might be off-putting for some people if they go into this not knowing the intention behind it and what Netflix is trying to do. So it is a unique idea, but not a lot of people will understand what this idea is, and they'll just go into it that first episode and it's just all over the place. I didn't take any risks with it. I started with episode 1 and I went all the way to episode 8, and I found it to be enjoyable, but I knew what the intention was behind it. Not a lot of people will, and that will be confusing for a lot of people. Now, the action in here is really good. There's, like I said, kind of your cliche heist moments, and a lot of it is thrilling. There is some shootout sequences, planning the heist, those moments like that, they're really suspenseful. I enjoyed the acting and the action in here. If this was a movie or a linear story, I would really, really love this. But at times it is confusing, and my wife and I watched it and feel like we were missing something from certain episodes, or certain moments feel like they were spoiling another episode. And if I started on certain episodes, I would be so confused with what was happening, and I feel like I was getting some spoiled moments for me in the series. Giancarlo Esposito really leads this series. He is so good in here. We see many different versions of this character when he was younger and when he was older, and the health that he's dealing with as well. He really leads this group. Jai Courtney is a wild card in here. His character is really unpredictable, and I liked him in here. But Kaleidoscope is a series that I love the heist aspect to it, and the characters and the story. It was all thrilling and suspenseful, but this non-linear approach, this viewing experience, is a little off-putting, and at times I feel like I'm getting certain storylines that feel a little unnecessary, and then they're revisited later on in the series, and I just do not care about that later on because other characters are getting more screen time. Like a detective who's involved. We get some good moments with her in the beginning of the episodes in the series, and then they're just wiped away, and then they're just gone for most of the series, and then they're revisited later on. And I just don't care much about that because of the way that I experienced it. I'm invested in more of the heist and the characters that are pulling off this heist rather than some of the minor characters. And if you watched it in a different order, you might get it in a different way. But certain characters, I feel like they're just a little unnecessary, and they're drawing out certain moments within the heist. I'm really curious to see where some of you started with this series. Did you start at episode 1? Did you start in episode 5, 4, 6, 7? Where did you start? What was your viewing experience like? It's all going to be the same outcome, but the journey will be different in different stories, in different positions. So I'm really curious to see how you started it. Let me know what you thought about Kaleidoscope in the comment section down below. Did you like this new viewing experience? Did you start it in different orders? Were you like me and didn't take a gamble with this and just started at episode 1? So before I give you my score for Kaleidoscope on Netflix, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give Kaleidoscope a B-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Kaleidoscope, the new Netflix series. Have you guys seen it by chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.